everybody, Shane Severson here, Legacy Realty. We are here ready to do our January 2020 market update. Numbers are in, so let's see how this new year has kicked off. It's not very surprising. It's been pretty steady all the way through, so I'm anxious to jump in. First of all, I know my webcam and my audio and all that is not quite as good as when I do shoot these videos with my camera, but I really like this software. I like to look at the graphics, so I am using this for a few of these, so hopefully you can bear with me as we go through these. So let's jump in. A couple of the numbers that I always talk about is our average sales price. So in January, our average sales price is 500, as you can see, 516, 482. That is up 3%. We've been about 3% increase in appreciation for quite a few months. So, I mean, we're holding pretty steady to that, and that's great news for all of you wondering how the market is trending. It's still trending up and looking good. One of the things we talk about every month is our month supply. You can see we've been at this low, this really low number since all the way back in about 2014. It's been pretty low. So you can see it's been really, really low for what is that, about 6 years, and you can see we are running at about 1.8%. Now, if you look at this, it shows we're up 5.9%, which sounds like, wow, it's really grown, except for when you realize back in January of, if I can find it, 2019, we were at 1.7 months supply. So we're not growing by, we're talking days, we're not talking months supply. So really it's not jumping much at all. You can see on the graph it's kind of climbing a little, but not really much at all. Keep in mind, for us to go from a seller's market to a buyer's market, these are not trends we're guessing on. This has been decades and decades of time that we've tracked this. It is normally 6 months of homes on the market that it would take 6 months to sell out. So 6 months supply for it to be a buyer's market. So we are a long ways from this market sliding and changing. Let's hit on a couple things that I don't talk about quite as much, but if you're curious, you have a house on the market currently or looking to put your house on the market, let's look at days on market here. Days on market are how many days your house would stay on the MLS, on the market before it actually goes through loan process and closes. Your house should be on 35 days before it goes off the market. So that's 30 days, 35 days for your house to hit the market, go under contract, get through loan, and come off of the MLS. So really, homes are flying off of the market still. Look at how many showings you should get when your house hits the market. You are running right now about 7 showings for your house. So if you are still one of those people, maybe your house hit the market, maybe you had 10 showings, 15 showings, there's something wrong. Something is not right. You should talk to your agent, reach out, figure out what is going and why your house is not going under contract. Because if your house is priced right and it shows well, which your agent can help with that, it really should hit the market. You should have 3, 4, 5 showings in the first week or so, and at max within that second week you should hit your 7th showing on average and be under contract, working your way towards closing. So what does that mean for us in the Denver market? I can tell you this, when I'm talking to people on the street, just everyday people, I still hear, like every meeting, every video says, I still hear it's going to tip this month or this year, or we are in I still hear in a bubble, but I'm not even going to talk like that. We know we're not in a bubble, but it is going to drop off, and I'm here to tell you only the people on the street that don't do this for a living talk like that. If you talk to anybody in the business, anybody tracking the market, if you talk to the local economists or anybody that has anything to do with real estate, growth, Denver, they're saying that the market is going to continue to grow. Now, I know some of you still don't buy that, still don't believe that. I had another couple conversations this week. People are holding off to purchase or sell their house and buy a bigger house because they're concerned. So I want to show you a couple other things that we have here. And that is we do this quarterly trends update. And so I want to pick on this here real quick, and I want to pick on just a couple slides and show you a couple things. Now, if you want to get these graphics, these stats, if you want to see all this, I can email this to you. You can look through all this data. It'll make your brain hurt, but I think you'll come to the same conclusion that everybody in the business is coming to. So if we slide down to page 17 here, if I can find it. First thing I want to point out is this is the population for Denver. Now, if we look, I just want to point out this is not Shane Severson. This is not Legacy Realty's numbers. I didn't pull these numbers out of the air. This comes, our source right here, if you can even read that, comes from the Colorado Division of the Government. So this is coming straight from the state office in Denver. There they have economists, they have people tracking the people flooding into Denver. This is coming directly from our government. You can do the research yourself. So if you look up here, this is from the local economist, Patty Silverstein, and the Census Bureau. They expect the Denver population, with the people coming in, what they know is going on, they expect the population to continue to grow at about 50,000 people per year. So this is our natural change. This is our net migration. So basically, some people leave. We all hear people are flooding out of Colorado because prices are getting too expensive. This calculates all that in. So the people that supposedly are flooding out of the market, that means we have more people than 50,000 coming in. But in essence, you can see this is all forecasted for 2020, 2021, all the way to 2030. So that's for the next 10 years. They are expecting nearly, you can see the 50,000 mark is right here, nearly 50,000 people a year coming into Denver. The question is, where are they going to live? They're going to buy homes, or if they don't buy homes, they're going to rent until the market turns. And so as we get more inventory, they're going to buy it up very quickly. So the possibility or the chances of sometime this year, sometime next year, that the market starts to really dip and drop, I just don't see that happen. The economy, the jobs, everything is way too strong. People flooding into Denver, and it's all supply and demand. We just simply do not have enough homes for people, which always drives the market up. Track any big city, track any economy, and it's all supply and demand, how many people you have. All right, so let's move on. The second slide that I really want to focus on, some people are still afraid. If you can see, this slide is put for those that are afraid at buying at the top of the market. And that is a legitimate concern for those people out there that they don't want to buy at the top. They don't want to buy as the market's crashing and so forth. So what would have happened if you would have bought at the absolute worst time in history? So first of all, let me drop down and show you. This is the average appreciation, average sales price in Denver. I've shown you this graph before. But since the 70s, you can see we've climbed every month. This is condos. This is single-family homes. Condos were not affected back in the drop as much as homes were. Interesting, something to point out. But this is 2007. Right here is that time. What if you bought right there as the market was crashing down on us? And those of you that are saying you are scared to buy now because we might be right here, let me show you it on a graph form so you can see what would have actually happened. In June 2007, it was crashing around us. Everybody's trying to sell properties. You would have bought your home at $310,761. That is the price, average price of the home back in June 2007. Now, it was dropping, took about 5-6 years for that to taper off and start to turn. So in 5 years, if you tried to sell that home, you made $10,000 profit. If you remember that graph I just showed you, since the 70s, that is the worst time in most of our lives was that collapse. We're not expecting that to ever happen again. That was because of mortgage, and I was doing loans for people that had no credit, people that had just gone bankruptcy 2 days ago, foreclosed 2 months ago, and could buy a house, no money down. That's what caused that collapse. I don't think we'll ever see that again, but if it did happen again and you bought in 5 years, you would have made $10,000 profit. Your price would have been $320,054. Fast forward that, it only took 3 years now, so fast forward to June of 2015, your house is now worth $423,632. You have profited $112,871. You tell me, is this a scary thing to buy if we're at a peak? And the answer, obviously, for anybody who has any reason of investing or understanding of market trends, they would obviously say there is really not a bad time to buy, and that would be the correct answer. Here's the deal. Real estate in Denver is hot. It will stay hot. We will continue to grow. We will have more people flooding in, more homes needing to sell. The market will continue to grow. The question is, when do you get in? And I'm here to tell you, now would be a pretty good time to get in. If you own a big home and you have been concerned about, can you get the value out of that home, we are coming into the trends right now. So now is the time. Now is the market. Buyer season is coming to an end. We're about the very, very end of that. I've got a few last buyer stragglers that are trying to get in here in the next month because prices are starting to climb and climb pretty quickly. The peak for sellers market here, we're literally a couple months away. So I would say most of my sellers are prepping their houses right now, getting ready to hit the market in the next month, month and a half to 2 months. So if you're looking to sell, now is a great time to do so. My encouragement, buy homes and buy a bunch of them. Don't sell them, hold on to them. I will assume, and I think the projections would be, you will make a bunch of money. Let's make some money together. God bless you. If you want any of these stats, reach out. Let me know. I'll send them to you, email them to you. If you want to talk, let's grab coffee. As always, you guys rock. I appreciate each and every one of you. It is an awesome business to be in, being a consultant to great people like yourself. I hope that helps. I hope the numbers make sense. God bless you. We will see you in February of 2020.